This is for the wedding suppliers and wedding venues out there that are in pure wedding award submission hell right now. And it's the only way to describe it, is it's pure hell. How do you get all of your worth and all of your value down into one submission that's going to be judged by judges in the industry and so on, right? It is incredibly difficult, and it's very bearing. And also for so many wedding suppliers out there and wedding venue owners, it's basically them putting themselves on the line because they are the talent, they are the service, right? So I really, really understand how hard it is to actually do a wedding submission into these award categories. However, I have worked in marketing in wedding venues for years, and I've also judged wedding awards. I did that with Weddings Online many moons ago. So I've seen it from both sides. And even when I was working in venues, I won awards. So I really have seen it over time. Now I have absolutely nothing to do with judging or anything like that. Thank you. And I don't even do any award submissions for clients or anything like that, even though I'm asked. And people do have offered me cash in hand, money, good old cash, to actually do their submissions into awards. I do not do that. But I have some tips, right? And this is what I've seen in my time when I was judging or submitting, etc. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in, any awards, this is kind of fairly standard. Like I've also judged on awards for like content marketing as well. So I'm going to give you some of my tips and observations that I've had over the years, and I have them written down in a little note here. So number one is a really basic one, but you'd be so surprised. Fill in every section. The amount of time when you're judging awards and people don't upload their imagery and things like this and put in necessary links, like every single box that you're being asked to fill in has a point or points or percentages awarded to it. So to not do it, and I know sometimes you go, oh, I'll come back and I'll upload the images later. Just do it there and then, because that is so critical. Like the amount of time I've read unbelievable submissions, and then I go to look at images or, you know, the links to the websites, and they're not there. And technically you can't really score for them. If they're not there, you can't judge them. So that's really, really important. So just don't let the admin slip. Number two is if you're a supplier or venue that's applying for multiple categories. So for example, you could be a wedding singer and you're going in for wedding singer, but you could also be going into wedding reception music, or you could be going into band and all of these different things. Or you could be a venue going in for like best in country house and best in a particular location. So you could have the same judge looking at those two, the exact same categories, and if you have the exact same submission just copied and pasted over, it actually isn't great. You should make sure that you're tweaking and tailoring based on the category that you've entered for, right? Really simple one, but it is important. The other one is, and this is where people get really, really stuck, and where they've asked me questions about the difficulty in selling yourself in a submission, where it's like, you know, you've got this box where you have to write a certain amount of words, etc. So like what I would actually say in that case is you've got this box, but you need to think outside the box, right? Because you can write down all these words, and the words are great. If you're a very articulate person and really good wordsmither, you're going to do great in that box. But like for me, I would really struggle with that. So actually what I would say you do is you actually submit a video. Right now, depends on the parameters of whoever you're submitting to, but I would say if you can, and if you have the wherewithal to do it, do something quirky, get in front of the camera, make your plea, because I think that it's just so much more persuasive when you can communicate to someone, even though you don't know who you're talking to. It's so persuasive, right? So you could do that, or add in, you know, a video testimonial that you've got from people within the team or actual customers as well, and go, look, I'm finding it very hard to explain what I do. You know, I'm just doing my work, and but here I've got other people who can advocate for me in a much better way. So think about that. Think outside the box. Think of the fun. Some of the best award submissions I've ever seen have been people that are just, they get out their phone or they get out a video and they do, you know, really, really interesting stuff with that. So that's that one. Now, the other one is you're always going to have to put in like your website, your social media links, and the judges are going to go and look at that. So just make sure in that period that you've checked the user journey on your website. It looks really clean. It's really slick. a customer can move through it properly, do all these like little checks, etc., because they are going to come and look at your website. And if you've got other people in the category that have really worked on their website, you need to also keep up that pace, make sure things are current. Like the amount of times I've gone on to websites and they've got like content from like 3 years ago, you know, with old logos on it, and just it was quite dated. So you kind of go, well, how can I give you more points than somebody who you see they're like flat out putting in current images? And particularly in makeup artists, I'd see that quite a lot. So just make sure that you're doing your house is clean and in order, and particularly with your social media. In award submission season, from that period in, you know, October up until whenever, February, March, just make sure that your social media is really, really good, consistent, and you're giving it a lot of love. Things look good, you know, you're really relating to your couples, giving them exactly what they need and want. So that's the other one. Next is the reviews. So a lot of awards will have customer reviews as part of the grading criteria. So the judges will go and look at your reviews. So what you want to do is, if you have a negative review, right, and this is what people ask me a lot about, is if you have a negative review, we're going to lose points. Well, judges aren't ruthless either, right? And also, a lot of judges can see through that sometimes with the reviews, they're all 5 out of 5. They know that they've been, you know, really hammering to get a lot of reviews in and everything like that, right? So it's all going to be very pleasant and all the rest, right? And that's great, right? And I would completely encourage you to get as many positive in as you can. But don't be discouraged if you have had a bad review, because it's not about the bad review, it's actually about how you've responded to it as well. So if the judges can see, hold on a second, you know, this person has had a negative experience, but look at how, you know, the supplier or the venue have come back and responded and have like basically just, you know, really have been proactive. And like the reality in weddings, it's a 24-hour business. It never stops. So there are going to be complaints. It's very difficult to keep absolutely everybody happy, but it is something. Don't be discouraged if you've got a negative review. Handle it, navigate it, right? And then it's at that judge's discretion to feel, you know, how you got on. The other thing is, if you've entered awards before and maybe you weren't successful or you were close, don't be afraid to go and ask, you know, the people running it for feedback. Like, go and ask for feedback and say, look, what did the judges say? Because the judges have to give comments. So, and they also give scoring. So they'll be able to tell you specifically, well, you fell down here and then you fell down there. And the commentary was really good, but it was just so close, but the other person just pipped you to the post. So it's really good to just go and just get the feedback and really understand before you do your submission, so that you can orchestrate it in a way that improves and builds on the previous year. The final one, and this is for me looking at other things, so not necessarily in wedding industry awards, because I don't judge them anymore, and I just host and turn up. AI. So of course ChatGPT is an absolute godsend. Where would we be without it? However, if you are just going to like dump a load of shit into ChatGPT and then get a load of stuff out and regurgitate it down, it's probably not going to be as persuasive, because it's going to be very homogenous. It's not going to sound like it's you. And we all know in the wedding industry, it's a people business, it's relationships. You are the brand. So just be really mindful that, yes, use the tools to help you and structure your thinking and put some manners on that. But don't forget, your own voice is really, really important to get through in your submissions as well. And also look for those nuances that just scream AI, because the judges are going to start to see a pattern that if everybody's absolutely the same, then how do you stand out? So just be really, really mindful of just actually really being a human in your submission as well. So I hope you found that helpful. 9 minutes or so on this. So yeah, good luck to all of you. And anyone who's coming to the Wedding Suppliers Awards in February, I can't wait to see you. It's going to be so much fun. Thanks, guys.